But so with culture, there was a talk. I want to say it was Eric Thomas, right? But he talked about some teams have winning cultures and some teams just have losing cultures, right? And so he brings up, his go-to team is in football. We're in football season, so his go-to team is the Detroit Lions. But he's saying they just have a losing culture year after year after year. It doesn't matter. They get number one draft picks. They get all these great players, but they just find ways to lose games, right? And then he talks about other teams that he mentions the New England Patriots. I'm not a Patriots fan, but he mentions the Patriots. And he said it doesn't matter what they go through. They lose the star quarterback. They get a new guy. He takes them to the playoffs, takes them to the Super Bowl. He's out. They have some backup quarterback, and they're still winning games. They have key superstar linemen that get injured, and they're out for a while, and they're still winning games. Where, it's just a difference between the culture of success and the culture of not. We're at a point where we haven't developed a culture at just 9 years. 9 years sounds like a lot, but when you look at all the other schools in the county, some schools have a certain culture, and it's based around winning. And some schools haven't really completely developed their culture. Is changing. I think we're at a good point where we need to, if we focus on that culture, and we have to get it out in front of the students, right? A culture of winning and success. We got to put the success out in front where they see it. You've mentioned it before, especially with the breathing flames, the Jaguar out in Lake Morales and stuff like that. If we were to get that stuff, it made me think. We have the display, the athletic hallway display, right? And it looks beautiful, but it's stuck in the athletic hallway. Who sees that stuff? Just the athletes, right? A lot of students, if they don't have a PE class or something like that, they tend not to see it. And even if they see it, they only see it from the edge. They don't actually get to see what's in it. Something like that. I think we need to, something at the main hallway of the school, at the entrance, not just promoting the athletes that are successful. They've gotten scholarships to play at universities and they're doing well. We have several men and women that have gotten scholarships to college, but also the academic side, and we've had students get scholarships to different colleges as well. And we start putting that and just drown any potential negative with all the success, but at the main parts of the building where the majority of students are
where you're gonna
located.
Where it's I was back to Shark Tank where Kevin O'Leary says where I want to pour my gasoline.
Yeah.
Where I see the fire at. I don't want to waste it anywhere. And you bring up a school, I went one day. I walked. It was when I was in high school. I walked through Miami High. The entire school, everything, is covered in trophy cases.
Yeah.
Everything, everywhere you walk, every single hallway is trophy cases after trophy cases after trophy, and there's not like one or two trophies in there. It's packed from the beginning of that school till now. The whole hallway is glass.
Right.
You see everything in there. It's all glass. And I just sat there and I was like, wow.
That's the way
we're in a thing. Now, so that being said, you look at a school like Fort Myers, 100 years, stuff like that, and they maintain a tradition and a culture and stuff like that. It's not to say that they can't lose it.
Right.
Tomorrow they could be an F school. They can lose it. But I know the supporting community and stuff like that. Is it that this new tech, this type of technology, this type of way of thinking, accelerates them?
I believe it has the potential to accelerate it if it's used properly. Right? We can't just open up an account and boom and expect it. It doesn't work magic, right?
Right.
It has to be used, right, in a specific way, and you have to measure the metrics and stuff like that. You got to look at the data and
how many kids are coming, how many kids are satisfied every day.
You got to keep promoting it to the point that they get sick of hearing, oh, we know already, But there's always new students. Right? Every year you got a fresh crop of freshmen and stuff like that, and you got to teach them, right? You got to have that culture. See, when you mentioned Fort Myers, right? Brand new students that go to Fort Myers, they already know what the expectation is. They do have a winning culture there, right? So a student that goes there, it doesn't matter where they're coming from or if they have a negative thought process, when they get there, chances are they're being drowned out by the expectation for success. And that's what we have to do. I think we have to raise our expectation of success, but from a thought process level. It's not just the grades. The grades will come, but we got to change the thinking.
The culture's not
The
hidden.
culture is not here yet.
The culture's not hidden in a school grade.
Right, it's not, yeah.
Because you can have a school that's an F, but if you're walking, I've seen F schools, you walk in and it doesn't look indicative to an F.
Right.
You see the kids are happy, you see the stuff going on. They might be missing one or two things, and you're sitting there like, okay, just one thing's maybe not clicking.
Right.
But then you got an A school, and I've seen a lot. I've walked in A school and stuff like that. The culture looks great or something like that, but then underneath it, it's really fractured.
Right.
And if one key person leaves, and I think this really shouldn't be built, not just like me. I want to be famous, but I think like once it's built, or like once it's going and once it's being used, and there's other people contributing and other stuff like that, it doesn't rely on one person.
Right.
It doesn't rely on that one person. That somebody else can take the mantle. Like you're building the Robin or your
Right.
Batman, and so you can move into it.
Yeah, and it gets woven into the fabric of what becomes the culture of the school.
Right. So like, and the school we were just talking about, the one that had some negative comment. They got a brand new principal,
Right.
but I've noticed they keep doing what they've always done. Where they do one where they take out all the chairs. They actually make a teacher section, and they bring out like 60 fold-out chairs, like the camper chairs.
Right.
And there's an entire
right.
team of students that come out and they make an entire section, and they just set it up. And they've been doing that before he got there.
Right.
And they just keep doing it.
Right.
And they keep doing it and doing it. And then it's like, okay, yeah, we lost our coach, we lost our principal, we got this, but we keep moving forward.
Right.
So.
And that's because that's already embedded into that fabric. It's already embedded into the culture. The expectations are already there, and it's just like clockwork. And then anybody that's new, any new freshmen, any new staff, they just kind of fall right into clockwork. They just see what it's. This is what it's just what it is. This is how it operates, right? And I think here we have to develop that. We've started things that had a chance to become tradition. It's kind of fallen off to the wayside. It just depends on, we have one of the other elephants in the room. We just have that constant turnover. What is consistent is inconsistency.
Right.
Right. Constant turnover from custodial staff to faculty to administration. There's always that constant turnover, and there hasn't been enough longevity to really establish some traditions and some culture. Not that nobody's working on it, people are working towards it, right?
Yeah.
But if you have that constant turnover, it's kind of hard. It's not impossible, but it's difficult to make it stick.
I gotcha.